ఒకసారి మళ్ళీ shrink చేయండి సార్.
Okay, right. So next time if you're installing a second instance, just simply select these three features. Okay, no need to select all the features, right? Got it right? No need to select the shade features, especially no need to select the shade features. Why? Because these are the shade features, right? So once you just install the shade features for the first time, that's it, that is enough. Next time no need to install. Okay, just go next. Okay, so these are the checks. Only one check is there, like that you will get a lot of checks. Okay. Okay, so like this you can see, right, we have already discussed default instance, named instance and all. So this is the new machine, you can install default instance. Windows R 2008 R2 is the old machine. So I have already installed default instance, okay, in that machine, right? So in that machine I cannot install default instance. One default instance is completed. Okay, so this is the new machine. I don't have any SQL Server installations in this machine. So first time I'm installing, right? It's not compulsory like if you're installing for the first time, you have to select the default instance like that. Okay, it's not compulsory. For the first time also you can select named instance. Okay, but I don't have any default instances, right? So I'm creating a default instance. So default instance will take the computer name automatically. Okay, named instance, we have discussed what kind of name and what are the rules we have to follow while giving the named instance name and all, right? We have discussed everything. Okay, so this is instance ID. Automatically if you are installing a default instance, you will get instance ID as MS SQL Server. Okay, all the instances, all the default instances names will be MS SQL Server. While connecting only you have to give the computer name. In all other places like services, folders, everything will be created MS SQL Server. So if you see MS SQL servers in the folders and all, that means that is a default instance service and that is a default instance folder. Okay, right? So next, if you want, you can select named instance and you can give the name of the instance. Next. Okay, just 1 minute. Right. So I need if I want to install SQL Server, I need this much of MB, 3.5 GB, almost all 3.5 GB. I'm having free space of 15 GB. Okay, so I can simply install the SQL Server, no issues with the space and all. right? So service accounts, okay, you can provide the same service account, default service account, okay, anti service, or else you can create a new service account and you can give the new service account in this screen only. Okay, so now last time I just installed with the default service accounts, right? Now let me create a user and let me, like how I did yesterday, I'll create a user and I'll make it as a service account and I'll give that service account here in this screen. Okay, so let me create a service account. Service account means user, like yesterday how we did, like that we are going to do now. Okay, let me create a user and make that user as a administrator and I'll give that user as a service account here. Just 1 minute. Okay, okay, what is the shortcut? User mgr.msc, right? First let me create a user, right click, new user, prd underscore svc underscore act. Okay, and let me give the password. Okay, create. So I just created the user. Let me make this user as a administrator. Go to administrators, add. Okay, so prd underscore svc underscore act, check names. Okay, apply. So now this account becomes a administrator. Now simply I can give this username in the screen. Okay, how to give? Just click here, drop down, browse it. Okay, make sure you have selected the computer name here. Why? Because I have created the service account in the computer. So sometimes if you have Active Directory setup and all, here domain name will be there, your company name will be there. I'll tell you, I'll create the domain and I'll show you the domain also. Okay, what is the account name? prd underscore svc underscore act, right? act. Just click check names. Okay, and give that password here. You have to give the password here, otherwise it will fail. Okay, 1 2 3, and startup type should be automatic. Okay, and this is for agent, and let me do it for the main service, database engine service. You can copy paste this one, no issues. Okay, control C, control V. Okay, and give the password, and it is also automatic only. Startup type means whenever the service is, whenever the Windows server is rebooted, SQL Server service also will start automatically. If it is manual, again you have to manually start the SQL Server service and agent service and all. Okay, collation settings. The default collation is SQL Latin 1 General CP1 CIAS. This is the default collation. That's why it was selected. If you want to change this default collation settings, you can simply click on the customize button and you can give whatever collation settings you want. Okay, like this you can change the collation settings. They will mention what collation settings they need. They will mention the setup documents. Okay, right? If they don't mention, you can install with the default collation settings, but before installing, just make sure you just confirm with them. Why? Because after installation you cannot change the collation settings, and of course you can change it, but it will be a very difficult task. Again, it is kind of a reinstalling the SQL server. So that's why just confirm the collation settings, and if everything is good, just proceed with the same collation settings. Okay, just go to next. Okay, and authentication screens, right? This is Windows authentication mixed mode. The difference between the SQL Server 2005 and 2008 8R2, from 2008 8R2 installation is, in the 2005 there is a bug. Okay, it will not ask you at the time of installation, it will not ask you which accounts need access to the SQL Server. Means who can access. Okay, you can hear me, right?
Yeah, okay, sir.
Okay, okay, okay. So in the 2005 there is an issue. What is that issue? It will not ask you which account can access your SQL server, who can access your SQL server. So all peoples that are there in the administrators group can access your SQL server, can connect your SQL server with a sysadmin privileges also. They can connect with sysadmin privilege, means even Windows team also can connect your SQL DBA, SQL server, and they can delete databases also. Why? Because they have, by default, they will get that permissions. That is the main bug in the SQL Server 2005. This was fixed from the 2008 onwards. Okay, it will ask you during the installation only, who can access this SQL server. You are installing the SQL server, right? Who can access the SQL server? You have to provide the names in the installation only. Okay, so if you don't provide any name, even you also can't set up, connect to the SQL server. Even though you install the SQL server, you also can't connect to the SQL server if you don't provide any names here. If you provide any names here, those people only can access the SQL server. Once they can connect to the SQL server, they can create new logins and they can give permissions to other people. Got it? So this screen will allow you the Windows authentication as well as mixed mode authentication. Apart from that, it will ask you who can access this SQL server. You have to provide the names and login names here. If you provide the login names here, those people only can access your SQL server. Later, they can connect to the SQL server and they can provide more access to the other people also. But initially, these people, like which accounts you just mentioned in this location, in this area, those people only can access the SQL server. Other people can't access. If you don't provide any name, no one can access the SQL server. Got it? So what I'll do now, I'll simply add the current user. Okay. Let me add the current user. Current user means what? I just logged in as an administrator right into this server. So current user means administrator will get an access. Administrator will get an access. See here, computer name / administrator. If you want to add any other people, like I want to add service account also, so I'll give service account name also, sprd svc underscore. Even service account also should have a login in the SQL server, then only your service account can connect to the SQL server. Okay, that's why you have to provide service account name also here. Got it? Like that, sometimes what we'll do, we'll add our complete DBA group. Our DBA group will be there, 10 or 15 people DBA group is there, right? We will add that group here. So all the DBA people can access this SQL server. If you don't mention the DBA group, okay, they cannot access your SQL server, right? So you have to mention you have to add the DBA group here so that they can access your SQL server. And data directories, here you have to provide. Usually in the organization will not save all the files in a single location or single drive. We'll save the data files of the databases in one drive. We'll save the log files of the databases in another drive. We'll allocate a separate drive for the temp DB. Okay, we'll allocate a separate drive for the system databases. Like that we are going to install. If you want to change the paths, you have to mention here. Okay, this is data root directory. Okay, but I have only one drive. Okay, I have only C drive, so that's why I'm not changing this setup. Usually in the organization, you will have a separate directory for user databases and user database data files, one location, one drive. User database log files, another drive. For tempdb, another drive will be there, like T drive. For backups, another drive will be there. Okay, different drives will be there. Simply you have to change the drive letter here. Don't worry, nothing to do here. Simply, if you selected a E drive for the user database directory, you have to give E drive here. Okay. For log directory, you have selected F drive. Okay. Make sure F drive is there. For tempdb, you have T drive. Make sure you give T drive here. For backups, you give something like X drive. Make sure X drive is there. That's it. Next, install. But if I click next, I will get error. Why? Because I don't have any of these drives, right? Currently, I haven't configured this many drives. I have only one drive. So let me change it to all in the C drive. Okay. So these are all files are going to be created in the C drive. I'll show you this setup in the cluster installation. Okay, in the cluster installation, I'll create 2 to 3 drives. In that 2 to 3 drives, I'll change the drive letters here. Okay, so no need to create any of these folders. Don't think like we have to create this. These are all the folders, right? So some people, what they will do, they will create all these folders manually. No need to create these folders manually. Okay, automatically SQL Server setup will create the folders, right? So this is your file stream option. What is the file stream option? If you have any photos content, if your data is photos, videos, like YouTube, right? YouTube, where the data is coming, it is also coming from a database. All the videos are coming from the database, right? So if you have any videos content type of data, then you can enable the file stream. If you don't have any such kind of data, no need to enable, right? That's it. Next. Right, this is error reporting screen. This is the last screen. No need to enable any errors here. It will ask you to send the errors to the Microsoft. Actually, your Windows server doesn't have internet connection, right, in the organization. So even if you select, it will not, it can't send any messages as it doesn't have internet connection. Simply go to next. This is the final checks. Okay, and you can go to next. Right, this is the final screen, and you can see here enterprise edition action is equal to install you are doing, and you have already installed the .NET framework, and you are going to install all this, all the below features. Okay, right, now simply install. Right, this is complete installation of the SQL server. The same procedure for 2014, 2016, everything the same procedure. From SQL Server 2016 onwards, Microsoft removed the management studio from the SQL Server software. It is providing a different software for the management studio, a separate software. You have to download that software also. Usually company will download and it will keep it in a shared location. You have to copy the management studio for SQL Server 2016 onwards, and you have to install the separately install the management studio. Don't ask how to install management studio. Nothing. Simply you will copy the management studio file, right click, run as administrator on the setup file. Next, 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 install. Nothing to select anything. Okay, no options also you will get to select. You will not get any options. It will ask you I accept and everything. Next, 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 install. That's it. This is how you have to install a separate management studio from 2016 onwards. Got it? Any issues, any doubts?
30 seconds ఇచ్చారు కదా.
Yes. Yes. Hello.
సార్
Yeah, yeah. I am unable to hear you anything.
ఎర్రర్ రిపోర్టింగ్ మనం అన్చెక్ చేసాం కదా,
Error reporting.
సెలెక్ట్ చేసుకోలేదు.
Yeah, we didn't check that one. Yeah.
ఆర్గనైజేషన్ లో కూడా మనం
Yes,
సెలెక్ట్
we will do
చేసుకోవద్దా?
the same thing. Why? Because what it will do error reporting, if you got any errors and bugs, it will tell to the Microsoft. How it will tell to the Microsoft? It has to connect to the internet, right? Then only it can tell, right? But in the organization, for every server, you will not get any internet connection. Why? Because of the hacking issue. Anyone can hack your SQL server and Windows server if it has internet connection. That's why your servers will not be connected to the internet. So if it doesn't have internet connection, how can it send error reporting to the Microsoft? So that's why we will not select that error reporting option in the organizations also.
ఓకే.
Yeah. Any other doubts? Prasad? Mostly I'll send yesterday's and today's videos tomorrow or by the end of the tomorrow. Okay, why? Because tomorrow I'll get the internet connection. I'll get all the pending videos and all. Okay, I'll send all the pending videos and documents and all. Okay, so this is all about your SQL Server installation. That's it for today's class is completed. You can wait till the end of the installation, or else if you have work, you can come. You can go. Okay, you can leave the session. Right, that's it for today. We will meet in the next class. If you want, if anyone wants to check till the end of this installation, you can be there. Okay. యా మధు, మీకు స్క్రీన్ ఎలా కనిపిస్తుందో ఒకసారి నాకు ఫోటో తీసి పెట్టరా? మధు కానీ రామ్ కానీ శ్రీనివాస్ కానీ మీకు స్క్రీన్ ఎలా
స్క్రీన్
కనిపిస్తుందో
షాట్ అండి.
స్క్రీన్ షాట్ లా పెట్టండి. స్క్రీన్ కంప్లీట్ గా ఎలా కనిపిస్తుందో అది ఫోటో తీసి పెట్టండి, నాకు వాట్సాప్ సెండ్ చేయండి. ఓకేనా?
పంపించాను చూడండి.
ఓకే అండి, చూస్తున్నాను. థ్యాంక్ యూ. Okay, it was successfully installed. You can see right what are the components we have selected. Each component is successfully installed. Okay, make sure don't only think, just don't look only here only. Okay, just go down and check all the components are successfully installed or not. Okay, you can see all are green checks only. Okay, no, nothing is failed. Okay, simply close the setup. Okay, that's it. Close this installation center also. That's it. This is how we have to install the SQL Server 2012. The same procedure will follow for 2014, 15, sorry, 2014, 16 and all. Okay, right? So we'll meet in the next class. Okay. If you have any issues, any doubts, just ping me in the WhatsApp. Okay. Thank you.